Okay, so today we're going to do lesson 1.1, which is called variables in algebra. Does anybody know what the word variable means? Can anybody raise your hand and tell me what the word variable means? Okay, all right. The word variable just means a letter in algebra, okay? So it can deal with an X or a Y or an A or a C or whatever it is. So if you have a problem like 15x, this X right here is the variable. So it's just dealing with, it's just a fancy way of saying a letter, okay? So that's all the word variable means. So example 1. Evaluate when y is equal to 3. All that word evaluate means is to solve. So they told us, okay, that they want us to solve the problem when y, that variable, is equal to 3. So they gave us 4 different problems here. I have 4y, 12 divided by y, y plus 8, and 18 minus y. And I know in every single one of these problems that y is equal to 3, okay? So I'm just going to plug it in and I'm going to solve the problem. So I look right here and I have 4y, so I write 4 and 3. Is my answer going to be 43? No, it is not. Because anytime you see a number and a variable written side by side, what operation does it mean? Multiplication. Very good, okay? So you want to use multiplication. I do not care how you write multiplication. You can do 4 parentheses 3. You can do 4 and use a little dot. You can do 4 and times 3. Doesn't matter. They all say multiplication. So 4 times 3 is what? 12. So this is my answer, okay? Make sure you are showing work. You always want to show work. And you say, well, there's not really any way to show work. This, writing this step down right here, that would be considered showing work, okay? So make sure you write it down. You show me where you plugged that 3 into the problem. Okay, so the next one is 12 divided by y. We know that y is still equal to 3, so I can write 12 divided by 3. You could also write 12 divided by 3. Doesn't matter to me, whichever way, but you have to show work, so you have to write it one way. All right, what's 12 divided by 3? 4. Next one, y plus 8. I know that y equals 3, so I do 3 plus 8. What's 3 plus 8? 11. Next one, 18 minus 3 equals what? 15. Very, very simple, okay? All they want you to do is plug in that number and then solve that problem. Okay, example number 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to find the perimeter of the triangle. Now, who knows what the perimeter is? Anybody? Can anybody tell me what the perimeter is? Yes, sir. Very good. The distance around the outside of the shape. Every single shape has a perimeter. A square, an octagon, a triangle. And all it is the distance around the outside of the shape. Now, we have a triangle here. They already told me exactly what each side of the triangle equals. So the hardest part is done. I don't even have to find the side lengths. Okay, they told me that side A is equal to 1. B is equal to 2.25, and C is equal to 1.75. So in order to find the perimeter, who can tell me what do you think you do with all of those numbers? Raja? Add them together. Perfect. Exactly. So I know in order to find the perimeter, I'm going to do A plus B plus C. I know all those numbers, right? So let's just plug in our numbers and solve. 1 plus 2.25 plus 1.75. 1 plus 2.25 is 3.25 plus 1.75 is what? 5. Very good. Okay, now on this problem, I forgot to write in that it is inches. Okay? Anytime you have a perimeter problem or any problem that's going to deal with any amount of like length or height or width, it will always have a label. and your answer should always have a label. So this one would be 5 inches, okay? 5 inches. So just make sure. Since I forgot to write it down, each side is in inches, so your answer should have the label of 5 inches. And lastly, example number 3. So what we have here is a word problem. Now, we will go over word problems in this class, okay, because you will have word problems, obviously this year, and then when you go to take the SAT and the ACT to get into college, they will have word problems, and you will be expected to know how to dissect those word problems and find out what you need to know. So I want you to know how to do them. Word problems look like they can be very scary, all right, but if you break them down and ask yourself, what am I trying to find, we can make it a very simple algebra problem. So in this problem right here, they want us to find the speed. I know that S is equal to speed, D is equal to distance, and T is equal to time. This is the formula for speed right here. This is something that they would give you, a piece of information that would be given to you in your book or on a test or whatever. Speed equals distance times time. So I can always find the speed of a bicycle, of a car, of a motorcycle, just by multiplying the distance that motor vehicle goes and the time it takes it to go. Okay? So what I want to do is I know I'm looking for 3 different things in this problem. I'm looking for speed, I'm looking for distance, and I'm looking for time. So I'm going to read this. Now, odds are you are going to be missing one of those 3 things. You wouldn't have anything to solve if you had all 3 parts, okay? So we're going to look for what I have and what I need. So let's read this. You plan to ride your bike to school and back, okay? So you're going there and back. The total distance, ding, 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 that's one thing you're looking for, is 10 miles. So I want you to write D is equal to 10 miles. Now, the total distance of the trip, that means you are riding how many miles there and how many miles back? 5 miles there and 5 miles back. So listen, I want you to do this. Right beside it, 5 miles. Because in order to find the speed, I need to know the distance that he's going. Not the total round trip, but the distance that he's going one way. Okay? Now let's keep reading. And the whole trip will take you 2 hours. Ding, ding, ding. That's another thing. What do you think 2 hours is? Time. So T equals 2 hours. But that's the whole trip. That's there and back. So how long do you think it's going to take him to go to the school, Casey? 1 hour. Perfect. Write that down. Okay. Then the last thing we have is how fast did you ride? How fast did you ride? This is my question. This is what I don't know. So what do I not know in this problem? Speed. So we write S equals question mark. Now you say, how do I know which ones to use? Do I use 10 and 2 or 5 and 1? Well, in order to find the speed, I need to find the speed there. And then I know the speed back if I find the speed there, okay? So I'm going to use 5 miles and 1 hour. Always make sure you write your labels with it because obviously not in this problem, but as we get farther in the year, they may give you information in inches and they want you to change it to feet. So you need to know what you've got in order to what you need to make it into. Or they give you the time in hours and they want you to make it into minutes, okay? All right, so let's plug these numbers that I know into my problem. I don't know S, so I leave it as S. I do know my distance, which is 5, and I know my time, which is 1 hour. What is my speed? Anybody? Yes, ma'am. 5 miles per hour. Perfect. 5 miles per hour. And remember, you always, always, always need a label. So miles per hour would be your label there. Okay?